Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
All right, Mikey, you have to go to the beginning of this video first because there's a bit to unpack here. So I was watching the news yesterday morning before I went to work, and this is what I watched. And this is the continuation of the, what are they calling it now? Signalgate scandal?
Yeah. I don't know what there's got to be. Let us know in the chat. What should we call this fiasco? This scandal? Because Signalgate is all right. But I think here at the bin, we can do better. I think we're better than that. Uh-oh.
Hashtag war plans.
Chrissy in the chat says, Tim, his brain is screwed so badly that even coming off Academy won't do too much good. It's all scrambled eggs up there. Poll in the chat. Notice these grifters fall apart with proper pushback. Yeah, they're not. Look, what is this? What is all this? What is all this stuff? Ooh, Eurogate. Colgate.
Twatgate.
Twatgate. Unquiet badger.
And Mikey, I will forewarn you, this has your favorite paper shuffler in it.
Oh my God, it's Mika.
Highest ranking in the U.S. government insists no classified information was shared. Moments ago, a follow-up.
The great OPSEC whoopsie of 25.
A piece entitled, "Here are the attack plans that Trump's advisors shared on Signal." He writes in part this: the statements by Hegseth, Gabbard, Ratcliffe, and Trump, combined with the assertions made by numerous administration officials that we are lying about the context of the Signal texts.
Yeah, your man immediately came out and said, these are fake stories from a shitty journalist. Like, who would even listen to it? He had no idea. Everybody else in the White House was like, yeah, we're working, like, sealing the leak. We don't know what happened here, but we'll be back to you. Man's is up front lying his ass off.
Have led us to believe that people should see the texts in order to reach their own conclusions.
Yeah, how about Perjury Gate?
Yeah, Perjury Gate, that's a good one.
And then laid out in this latest piece, which broke just now in The Atlantic, Jonathan Lemire.
Don't you touch those papers, Mika.
Yeah, the screenshots of the texts are included in this piece that Jeffrey Goldberg and Shane Harris just posted on The Atlantic's website. We'll go through a little bit of it now. The White House, as you just mentioned, has
because y'all said, hey, he's lying about it. He said, hey, y'all said it's declassified or not classified. I guess we're going to put the whole thing out there.
Time and again.
Everyone from the White House all the way down to Hegseth and Gabbard were like, yeah, none of this is classified. And now he's like, all right, I'm going to call your bluff. Here it is.
Two things. That nothing in here was classified and that no war plans were included. Well, as Jeffrey and Shane write, take a look.
I think I, really hate his tie. And it is...
Yeah, his tie...
It's so bad.
Is it, weirdly stripy or is it just two-tone?
It's, got three tones. Because there's, the bad teal, because it's, teal and gray. The gray, and then, a bad navy.
Yeah. Ugh. I don't like his tie.
Ugh. Woof on the tie, bud.
Yeah.
Look for yourself. I'll read a little bit of it here. These are texts from Pete Hegseth, the Secretary of Defense, talking about...
It could have been any one of those three colors, and it would have been better. But because it's all three colors, it's already bad.
11:44 Eastern that day. Weather is favorable. Just confirmed with CENTCOM. We are a go for mission launch. 12:15. Texts in this chat. F-18's launch. Declares this the first strike package.
I was about to say, put that shit on screen, bro. Ain't nobody finna keep look at you. I'm tired of looking at the top of your head. I hate that shit. 1410. More F-18s launch. Second strike package. 14-15 hours. Strike drones on target. It's like Soap McTavish. That's the Call of Duty reference I'm doing here. This is when the first bombs will be definitely will definitely drop, pending earlier trigger-based targets. About 1536. F-18 second strike starts. Also, first sea-based Tomahawks launched. More to follow. We'll get them next time. Per timeline.
Fission mailed.
We are currently clean on OPSEC. That is operational security. Godspeed to our warriors.
Oh man, telling a journalist that you didn't know you invited to a commercial-based text chatting application, we are currently clean on OPSEC, is hilarious.
Literally.
145 talks about how the trigger-based strike window
Mallard duck tie. Yes.
begins. Target terrorist is at known location. As here we are here. About how the target has been.
Up to that, of course, a lot of debate.
Lightly.
Jeffrey, would you like?
So here's Mans. Does he look like he's supposed to be in that goddamn group chat? But it does say something that, because I was watching, some additional footage, and he's done like 7 interviews now.
Yeah.
He knows Waltz.
Yeah.
And he said, well, I don't want to talk about how we know each other.
Right.
Well, clearly he's been leaking shit to you this whole time.
And even in this interview, he talks about Waltz. He's like, I don't know what's going on with Waltz, but he's saying all this shit about me. And like, we have a previous relationship.
Yeah, you've been getting leaks from the last administration.
To talk a little bit more about the decision to release these.
Well, sure. Well, first of all, we didn't do this lightly. And all yesterday, we were asking our contacts across the administration, national security complex, CIA, DNI, et cetera, do you have any, since the president has declared this unclassified, and since the DNI, since the head of the CIA said there's nothing sensitive or nothing classified.
Unquiet Badger, I'm not Dick Van Dyke. That is Soap McTavish from Call of Duty. It's a Call of Duty thing, and I sound just like him.
In these documents, we just want to make sure that you don't have specific objections to this kind of information going out in public. The White House issued us an anodyne statement late last night saying they think that some of this is sensitive and they would rather not have it out there, but there was no objections to specific details. We did redact one piece of information because we felt on our own that we felt it was best to do, and the CIA asked us. But, at a certain point, the administration...
Nah, fuck it, put it out.
Is saying that there's nothing classified or secret or sensitive in these. So at a certain point, I just felt, let our readers decide for themselves. Read these texts that I got sitting in my car on my phone in a Safeway parking lot, 2 hours.
You see Mika's face? Oh my god, she's been waiting for this. You know what I mean? She's been waiting to be outraged. And she's look at this pro outrage right here. This is professional.
Sitting in my car on my phone in a Safeway parking lot, 2 hours before the attack launched, and
that needs to be a gift.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Let's do full screen. Yeah. One more time.
You tell Safeway parking lot 2 hours before the attack launched, and you tell me if this seems like good operational security.
Mika. Too much, girl. You
really,
too much.
I really mean it. Let the readers decide.
Right. And Jonathan Lemire, 2 issues here. Of course, that Jeffrey was included on this. And there have been accusations made over the airwaves, I believe, by Mike Waltz, that there was some sort of foul play on Jeffrey's part. I'd love Jeffrey to respond to
He said Dilbert Galvin. Look at
that. But also the fact that this was on Signal is a big issue as well.
Yeah, so Jeffrey, let's start there. You've heard, President of the United States called you a sleazebag. Members of his top officials in his administration used similar terminology to describe you and your reporting here. So first,
wait a minute. I think I got a clip here.
To respond to that, and we'll go from there.
Well, I mean, it's kind of rude. First, they invite me to their Signal chat, and then they call me names. That doesn't seem right.
Got it.
Yeah, and I've seen these.
Knew it was coming. Got it.
I get it. Mike Waltz is looking for the real killer. The simple truth of the matter is, on March 11th, Mike Waltz sent me a message request on Signal, and I accepted it. That's the entire story.
Nah, dog. There's something before that story.
Yeah, there's something you're not telling us. Like, he's your source on all that shit.
That's what I'm saying. Like, y'all have been working together already. And the fact that you don't want to talk about y'all working together already proves that you guys were working together already. Why the hell does he even have his, you know what I mean, his signal name?
Yeah.
Like, what that day made him be like, oh, that's the dude. I need to talk to him. Oh, I accidentally added him to this OPSEC group chat. Like, what?
My favorite part of that little bit was when Mika told him that the president called him a sleazebag, and he was like, yeah, what else is new? Like, he's like, whatever. Who hasn't the president calls a sleazebag? Really? Come on.
Not me. Better that he doesn't know why I exist.
There's no daring do here. I entirely passively accepted his request to connect on Signal. I'm not going to comment on my relationship with Mike Waltz.
Yeah, see, what's up with that? Why not?
Is that? Why?
Uh-huh.
Tell us.
Tell us if you're a real leaker.
Saying unserious and unkind things about me. That's okay. But, you know, the story is the story.
Yeah.
March 11th, he reached out. March 13th, I'm added to the Houthi PC small group. March 15th.
And why you get his name 2 days before it happened?
Yeah, right?
I think I got a conspiracy theory.
Okay.
Where is it? Was this a trap?
Ooh, by Waltz?
Yeah.
So the theory here would be it's a trap by Waltz to accidentally invite a journalist to this group chat because he thought it was fucking crazy.
Because if he hadn't have reported this, they could have said, "Ha, he hacked his way into our group, and he has look at the classified information he has on his phone. Look at his phone right now, like planting shit." You know what I mean?
Could be. I also think that maybe Waltz is like a Democratic sleeper agent or something. Like
he's been activated.
Yeah, and he could have done this on purpose, and then been like, "Nah, guys, it was my bad," because he took full responsibility for that. He was like, "Yeah, I accidentally did it because sometimes people have different names on my phone than their phone numbers or whatever his fucking bullshit explanation was."
I gotta try to find it. It's or if you could help me. There's one with him and Trump where he's like literally, like you could almost hear the guards' swords. It's like scraping against their shields as they're about to draw them. Like you can hear him like, well, you know, the thing is, you know, maybe he added himself to my phone in the contacts, and there's a way. We're looking into it. We got the top tech. It's like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I know you're real nervous. I know that Trump's like, yeah, he made a mistake. I'm like, oh, you're fucking cooked, brother. You're done.
They announced to the small group before the attack occurs that the attack is occurring and what weapons they're using. And then I began the process of writing up what I thought was a story about a massive security breach at the highest levels of the United States government.
Well, I think I found it.
Okay. But this is that it? Oh, there it is.
All right, we're jumping in early because we're going to the cabinet room and the president of the United States taking questions.
Money that's going to these two public news outlets.
Oh, it doesn't come in.
If they're successful, I know Senator
Viewing how the heck he got into this room, but
oh, there we go.
They used a app, if you want to call it an app.
If you want to, first of all, Trump has no idea what Signal is. He thinks it's a signal.
He thinks it's a smoke signal.
He thinks like someone disrupted a signal. He hears the word signal and he doesn't realize that it's a chat app.
It's a radar ping, I believe.
If you want to call it
Tesla.
an app, I guess. Yeah.
On the computer.
I love all the computer.
Oh my god. And he's like, you want me to start it up? It doesn't make a fucking revving sound, idiot. What are you trying to start up a fucking electric car? So we could see the lights? Like, what are you talking about?
I've been in a Tesla. There's no noise at all.
Right.
All you hear is like the tires moving, and you're like, all right, I guess. There's no transmission. Like, you just press the pedal and go.
He said, "You want me to start it up?"
No one will hear
I love
it.
Tesla.
Oh shit.
That a lot of people use, a lot of people in government use, a lot of people in the media use. And I think I'll ask Mike. Mike is here. Do you want to respond to that, please?
Yes, Mr. President, you asked about lessons. I think there's
Oh yeah, let's hear about your lessons, bud.
a lot of the lessons. There's a lot of journalists in this city who have made big names for themselves, making up lies about this president, whether
Or you sent it to them on Signal, or you're the leak. And you got called out, and now you over here like, shit, because homie is not riding with you no more. Maybe they used to be lovers.
Maybe.
And
Maybe.
now he's jilted, and he's leaking the leaks.
whether it's the Russia hoax or making up lies about Gold Star families, and this one in particular I've never met, don't know, never communicated with, and we are...
Well, that's not true, is it?
Yeah, that's not true, because the journalist was like, yeah, we have a previous relationship. I'm not going to explain it.
And
we do know each other.
And you friend requested him before you added him to the thing, so you did make contact.
Yeah, you know him.
Yeah.
You fucking know him, you liar. They're all liars.
and we are looking into and reviewing how the heck he got into this room. But I'll tell you what, the world...
You added him.
Through puberty. Honka honka, we're all gonna die. Anyway,
owes President Trump a favor. Under Biden, global shipping was shut down. Pinprick attacks, months between them, our destroyers being fired upon dozens of times. President Trump took decisive action with his national security team, took out the head missileer, knocked out missiles, knocked out headquarters, knocked out communication sites, and for once, as we hear, as you all hear from every one of our allies, thank God for American leadership again. Thank God for American strength. You're welcome.
Is that Sandra Bullock?
We had a national security team that was
Yo, look at them with the fucking Iwo Jima in the background.
I know.
Yeah, that it would have been a real shame if the radio just got left on and then, like, you know, a Japanese reporter was just like what the
coordinating these efforts. As Director Radcliffe testified today,
Praise Jeebus.
His first day on the job, he was introduced to this app on his government systems at the CIA and at the State Department and otherwise. So, look, this journalist, Mr. President, wants the world talking about more hoaxes and this kind of nonsense rather than the freedom.
See, that's the thing, brother. It's not a hoax. Everyone has already said that the texts are real.
Yeah, it's 100% real.
So this is the gaslighting.
Yeah.
This is the gaslighting of fascists, is where they tell you, no, that didn't happen, this happened. And this largely worked for January 6th. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of the Republicans kind of just like hand wave it away. But as soon as they saw that cop getting crushed in the door, you could see his little face getting smushed in the glass.
Oh, yeah.
That pissed them off. But now they're just like, no, they were just walking around.
Yeah, they were just walking around and fucking chasing down representatives,
And
like
smearing shit on the walls.
Like you know, the doors to the floor of the House and the Senate certainly weren't barricaded, right, with, you know, the sergeant at arms, guns drawn and all that.
That one girl then catch one in the face for trying to climb through the window after they broke it.
Right, like none of that stuff happened. There wasn't a dude with like zip ties looking for Nancy Pelosi.
Right. Where's Nancy?
Where's Nancy? There wasn't a dude at Nancy Pelosi's desk with his feet on the table, like, I was looking for Nancy, but I guess I couldn't find her.
He said,
just steal shit on my way out.
He had one of the worst, the worst defenses. He's just like, I was just going through a rough patch. It's like, dude, shut up. Shut up. Shut up. You're an insult to patches everywhere.
that you're enabling, and a key part of our sovereignty is open sea lanes and knocking the crap out of terrorists, which is exactly what your team and Pete Hegseth, a good friend and fellow veteran, is leading the charge on, and it's an honor.
Very successful.
It's very unbecoming of an officer to lie.
So, speaking of veterans, Mikey, I have a friend who is an Air Force veteran, and they said that they worked in communications in the Air Force for a bit, and that chat, that signal chat that they had, if anyone in the military had that chat at a lower level, they would be fired.
Yeah.
And that what they were talking about was 100% classified because they were talking about military actions.
Military actions are not classified, apparently.
They were and a week before all this shit came out, the Defense Department came out with a statement that said, "Hey guys, Russian hackers have hacked Signal. It might be a compromised app. Right. Even though it's end-to-end encrypted, it can still be hacked."
And the other thing is, it's not supposed to be able to be downloaded to a government issued phone. Like, those phones are not supposed to be able to take apps that aren't, pre-approved.
Right. So it meant that they were using their personal phones.
Which is also crazy because T-Mobile or whoever doesn't have the sophistication to block all cyber attacks.
Right.
So your phone can easily get compromised. And they were traveling. Like, homie was in Russia.
Yeah.
And Tulsi Gabbard was in some undisclosed Asian country. So these phones that all of these messages are going to, because that's the thing about a group chat, it's not one message going to one person. It's one message going to 18 people. To 18 different devices in 18 different locations. This is bad. This is not good.
My friend also said that when it comes to like security in a mission, like they also worked on aircraft maintenance.
Mm-hmm.
And the aircraft would fly out, and the pilots after a certain distance wouldn't have full radio communication with dispatch because with the base, because they were out of range. So they wouldn't know what was happening if, let's say, that the text got leaked and the Houthi rebels got word of what was going on. The pilots wouldn't know that was happening.
Yeah, they'd probably be in the operating theater.
Right. So, Hegseth and Gabbard and whoever else was in that chat, by being in that chat, they were compromising the security of the mission that they were talking about.
And if they didn't know better than to leave or to say, "Hey, this shouldn't be talked about in here. We need to shut this room down. Hit me on the back channel number 3 or whatever." Like, that's how that's supposed to work. But instead of that, we get, it wasn't even classified.
We don't even know how it got there.
Who are you going to believe? Me or your lying eyes?
Excuse me. We had a very, very successful evening, and we've had numerous successful evenings and days in that area. The Houthis are absolutely on the run. The worst of them has been killed.
Yeah, we bombed an apartment building without making sure that only the guy was in there. That's the success that he's talking about. Straight out of Netanyahu's fucking playbook.
This should have been done a long time ago by Biden, but Biden was an incompetent president. He couldn't do anything. He didn't know where.
Bro, you're orange.
Trump didn't even know this was going on.
Also true.
Let's put that out there. While this text chat was going on, Trump had no fucking clue.
No.
The chief officer of the military had no idea a military operation was going on.
They don't tell him.
And he's supposed to be the final say on, okay, yeah, let's do this. Let's not do this. The final say on this military action came from fucking Stephen Miller, who said he overheard Trump said it was okay.
Ooh, that was when I went through puberty. Honka honka, we're all gonna die. Anyway,
we are all gonna die, Cody.
No clue. This should have been done a long time ago. as they shoot missiles at ships, randomly shoot missiles at ships, and they.
Trump was golfing. He was golfing when this happened.
I got two things to laugh at. Unfinished Journey says, buttery males. Buttery males. That's funny. And then Kane says, I can't join the wrong book club because my sister's Jag husband gets background checked under a microscope. But these chuckle clucks can just add whoever in the situation. It's not the situation room. It's a situation room group chat, which everyone can pull up on their iPhone or Android, or if you have an Apple or a fucking Windows phone, just any old device. You know, maybe if you have the PC desktop app, just open it there.
One of those old Nokias, like anything.
The one with Snake on it, the brick. You want to open up the message on there, they can take texts. Well, they couldn't take them emojis, though.
But that's exactly what my friend said, too. They said that they're not even allowed to talk about the specifics of the missions they were in for the next, 50 years.
Right.
And these fucking idiots are just having a fucking Snapchat about military operations. Like, come on.
Christy said, isn't Trump the commander-in-chief?
Supposedly.
No, he's the top law enforcement officer in his brain.
See, this is where I disagree with the founders and their insistence of a civilian-controlled military. This guy is the prime example of why you shouldn't have the president have no military experience at all.
Yeah. I mean, he had his own Vietnam. It's called not getting STDs in the 80s, he said.
They make their own missiles. You know, this is not an incompetent group of people. They make their own missiles. They get the missiles also from Iran.
They don't make their own missiles.
They make them from scratch.
My God.
There's bushes in Yemen where missiles are very plentiful, but you can only get them at a certain time of year. And there's thorns.
It's very Tony Stark made this in a cave with a box of scraps.
Hammer. Are we Hammer Tech? Oh, no.
It's an offshoot of Iran, another offshoot. You have Hamas, you have Hezbollah, you have the Houthis. You got a lot of stuff going on with Iran. And we sent a letter to Iran.
I'm actually impressed he knew.
I'm impressed that he remembered all those names.
Yeah, that's good on him. He actually read something or had something read to him. Maybe there was pictures.
Iran, you're going to have to be speaking to us one way or the other pretty soon because we can't let this happen. But that's an app that a lot of people use. And somebody got on. I mean, I happen to know the guy's a total sleazebag. The Atlantic is a failed magazine. Does very, very poorly. Nobody gives a damn about it. This gives it a little bit of a shot. And I will tell you this, that they've made up more stories. And they're just a failing magazine. The public understands that. He's a very good man. That man is a very good man right there that you criticize so strongly.
Wow.
I wish we had pulled up the clip beforehand with him talking, you know, the problem with Biden is he never fired anybody. People just failing left and right, and they never fire him. That's his problem. God. He's a weak leader. He's a weak leader. That's why he just lets everybody be bad at their job. Yep. Meanwhile, back at the ranch.
Right, and Trump thinks it's like a personal affront to him if he has to fire anybody. Yeah, like he's never gonna fucking fire this guy.
No.
Unless like he's the scapegoat. He'll fire one person as the scapegoat. But that's it. It'll either be him or Hegseth. I don't know which one yet.
Was Hegseth drunk?
Come on. Is he ever sober?
I mean, he was like all caps and shit.
Right. All caps doesn't mean that you're sober. I'm gonna put that out there.
Oh, looky here. Let's see. This is
number on someone else's contact. So of course I didn't see this loser in the group. It looked like someone else. Now whether he did it deliberately or it happened in some other technical mean is something we're trying to figure out.
So what does he mean that does he mean the journalist deliberately changed his name in his phone?
He
what?
He hacked it.
He hacked his phone.
You got somebody else's number on someone else's contact. So, of course, I didn't see this loser in the group. It looked like someone else. Now, whether he did it deliberately or it happened in some other technical mean is something we're trying to figure out.
So a staffer did not put his...
That's Majority Report's board, not mine. But I knew I saw
good.
somewhere.
I was about to say, God, my ears.
Contact information.
No,
but how did it end up in your
that's
phone?
what we're trying to. That's what we're trying to figure out.
Okay.
Pause it.
But that's a pretty
Wait a
big
second.
problem.
That is what we've got the best.
You know, I'll tell you something, and we got to go back. This is because let this thing run because this is so pathetic. I've never seen anything quite like this. Ingram is definitely trying to open the door to him to throw an underling under the bus.
But he's too stupid to realize that there's an out here. We'll just blame somebody beneath you.
Did not put his contact information.
No,
but how did it end up in your
that's
phone?
what we're trying to. That's what we're trying to figure out.
Okay, but that's a pretty big problem.
That is what.
If there
That's
are numbers,
what we've got the best technical minds, right?
That's disturbing.
And that's where I mean, I'm sure everybody out there has had a contact where it was said one person and then a different phone number.
But you've never.
Bro, what is your job title?
National Security Advisor.
And you can't tell whose contact is who in your phone? You can't trust that you put the people in your phone and it wasn't like Tim instead?
Oh, man. If I was in that chat, I would have been like, hey, guys, what's going on in this thread?
Welcome to my Minecraft server.
Never talked to him before, so how's the number?
All your base are belong to us.
You guys
On
want
your
to talk
phone?
about Door Fortress?
I mean, I'm not an expert in any of this, but it's just curious. How's the number on your phone?
Well, if you have somebody else's contact and then somehow it gets
someone
sucked
sent
in,
you that
it gets
contact.
sucked in.
Was there someone else supposed to be on the chat that wasn't on the chat that you thought was?
So
on
the
chat?
person that I thought
Okay, so he's the underling. Right.
Right, yeah.
was on there was never on there. It was.
I just want to go back to the sucked in part because I
No,
heard about
listen,
this happening.
You know how you get your phone number sucked in. You get your phone number sucked in. That's how I met my first wife.
Yeah, it gets sucked in. You know,
Yeah, like your phone number got sucked into my phone, and that's how I.
there's a whole Reddit thread about it.
Oh my God. Are you not
Out
aware
there
of this?
has had a contact where it was said one person and then a different phone number.
But you've never talked to him before, so how's the number on your phone? I mean, I'm not an expert in any of this, but it's just curious. How's the number on your phone?
Well, if you have somebody else's.
Right.
Yo, if Ingram is fucking
Yeah.
catching you and like putting you in a corner, that's a problem.
She's like, come on, man, this is a bad lie. Didn't someone put it in your phone wrong?
This dude can't fight his way out of a wet paper bag, man.
No, that
Like,
bag is whooping his ass right now. Oh shit.
This
how
contact.
does his number get on your phone? If it got on your phone and you don't know him, how to get there?
Did someone put it in there for you by mistake?
And then he's like, how'd the moon get there? You don't know.
Throws pocket sand and is out of there.
Smoke.
Smoke bomb, smoke bomb.
And then somehow it gets
someone
sucked
sent
in.
you that
it gets
contact.
sucked in.
Was there someone else supposed to be on the chat?
What?
And then somehow it gets
someone
sucked
sent
in.
you that
it gets
contact.
sucked in.
Was there someone else supposed to be on the chat that wasn't on the chat that you thought was?
So
on
the
chat?
person that I thought was on there was never on there. It was.
Who was that? What person?
Well, I'm not. Look, okay. Laura, I take.
We already figured it out, dude. We already figured it out.
I take responsibility. I built the group.
Okay.
So but look, that's the part that we have to figure out, and that's the part that we embarrassing. Yes, but Pete and I are veterans. We know these operations. He has been an excellent Secretary of Defense, and this was an operation that, I mean, it amazes me. I guess the Democrats were fine to leave all the sea lanes shut down. We're fine to have destroyers fired on dozens of times by this terrorist group, and fine to have Iran keep supplying them missiles. That was okay. The president takes decisive action, and now we're seeing some real success in taking down their air defenses, opening the sea lanes, taking out their leadership. We don't want to talk about that. We want to talk about this.
Now
Yeah, why would we talk to you? Normally, I would agree with you. Because you're a very unimportant, unserious person who puts people at risk.
Yeah. Now let's see. Let's see the other people in that chat answer questions.
How do you know she was in the chat?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. If there's something I care as much about as the national security of the United States, it's the powers and prerogatives of
Oh,
this
by the way,
Congress and
Mikey,
its
this is Connecticut Congressman Jim Himes, who's currently on the board for being primaried. So let's see if he can get himself out of that.
This is Connecticut. Whatever.
oversight duties. So I want to spend a minute or so on yesterday's testimony in front of the Senate and direct these questions in particular to Director Patel and Director Gabbard. Yesterday, Senator Heinrich asked, did this conversation, referring to the signal chat, include information on weapons, packages, targets, or timing? Director Patel, you said not that I'm aware of. Director Gabbard, you said same answer. This morning we learned that the signal chat included the following update, forward-looking update from the Secretary of Defense. Time now, 11:44 Eastern Time. Weather is favorable. Just confirmed with CENTCOM. We are.
Who doesn't say that when you enter a group chat?
Oh, yeah, I say that all the time. I'm famous for it.
Optimal weather visibility, 14 miles to the horizon.
Go for mission launch, 12:15 Eastern Time. F-18
I always
launch,
say go
first
for
strike
mission
package.
launch.
I just said, look, my wife just said from work, she said, go for mission launch. Good morning, baby. I love you. Seems
Listen,
normal
in
to
my
me.
household, we all know what go for mission launch means.
13:45, trigger-based F-18, first strike window starts. Target terrorist is at his known location, so should be on time. Also, strike drones launch MQ-9s. 14:10, more F-18s launch, second strike package.
That's American for good morning. What's the problem?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, F-18s go for launch, second strike package is definitely American for good morning.
If you haven't whispered that into your partner's ear, doing a little pillow talk, I mean, you're not.
I mean, I always say Tomahawk missiles deployed.
Stop it.
Do either of the directors want to reflect on their testimony?
Sure. One, I was not on that signal chat. Two, I have not reviewed it. And three, as you just indicated, that was made public this morning.
But
good thing you're not the FBI director.
Yeah, my favorite part is like Cash Patel's like, it's not my problem.
Nah, I'm not in this, dog.
Director, you didn't prior to yesterday's Senate. You were on this. You were on the signal chat, correct?
No.
Okay, but did you review the material on the signal chat?
No, I wasn't on it.
Director Gabbard.
Yes.
I will copy his answer.
Ranking member, my answer yesterday was based on my recollection or the lack thereof on the details that were posted there. I
wasn't lying. I really didn't remember.
Not, and what
I'm
was
just
shared today
dumb.
it reflects the fact that I was not directly involved with that part of the signal chat and replied at the end reflecting the effects, the very brief effects that the National Security Advisor had shared.
So it's your testimony that
I love it when they say that.
less than 2 weeks ago, you were on a signal chat that had all of this information about F-18s and MQ-9 Reapers and targets on strike, and you in that 2-week period simply forgot that was there. That's your testimony?
My testimony is I did not recall the exact details of what was included there.
The very next question should be, Director Gabbard, do you have early onset Alzheimer's?
Are you tripping?
Are you high right now? Is there something impairing your brain because it was 2 weeks ago and you should remember it?
I mean, it should be easy to remember. It's on your phone.
Yeah, right
Just
now.
open
it's
your
on
phone and
right
refresh
now.
your memory.
That was not your testimony. Your testimony was that you were not aware of anything related to weapons packages, targets, and timing.
As the testimony yesterday continued on, there were further questions related to
Right, you change your story.
that,
right,
where I acknowledged that there was conversation about weapons, and I don't remember the exact wording that I used, but I did not recall the specific details that were included.
Director Gabbard,
Wow, really convincing. I really trust her with all of our nation's secrets.
Yep.
reasserted that there was no classified information. I think we can all agree that that information shouldn't have been out there. But let me ask you this. Are you familiar with the ODNI's classification guidance?
I'm familiar
I've
with
actually
it.
got a copy right here.
She better be.
If
Kind
I
of her
read
job.
you a part of that guidance, I wonder if you could tell me what the level of classification indicated is. I'm reading from your
Q level.
classification guidance. And the criteria is information providing indication or advance warning that the U.S. or its allies are preparing an attack. Do you recall what your own guidance would suggest that be classified?
I don't have the specifics in front of me, but it would point to what was shared would fall under the DoD's classification system and the Secretary of Defense's authority.
Yo, Pete Hegseth is the one that did it.
Yeah, no. It was not me. It was the other guy.
Yeah.
It was him.
But it's totally not her job to be like, hey, we need to get out of this room and get into a secure room. Everyone go to your skiff.
Let me help you because there's
what
a
is
very clear
classified
answer.
and what is not.
You don't. I guess you don't have it. But information providing this is the ODNI guidance. Information providing indication or advance warning that the U.S. or its allies are preparing an attack should be classified as top secret. Do you disagree with that?
Well, top secret is not classified, so gotcha.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with that. I just point out that the DoD classification guidance is separate from the ODNI's classification guidance.
Do you think it would be materially different?
Ultimately, the Secretary of Defense holds the authority to classify or declassify.
Do you think it's likely that DoD guidance is materially different from what I just read?
I haven't reviewed the DoD guidance,
What the
so I can't
Oh my
comment.
God. Does he have it?
Come on.
Have it.
Director Gabbard, a lot of this suggests sort of a lack of
Damn it.
sobriety. When there's punch emojis and fire emojis, it's a lack of sobriety.
Shoulda
I
had
don't
it.
mean that literally. But I have one last question for you because I think people really listen to what you have to say.
No, they don't.
You,
Nope.
on March 15th, as DNI, retweeted a post from Ian Miles Chong, who is listed on
Oh my
RT,
God.
that's Russia Today's website, as, quote, a political and cultural commentator
Gina.
who has contributed content to RT since at least 2022.
Daily Blase.
Director Gabbard, do you think that it's responsible for you as head of the intelligence community and the principal presidential intelligence advisor to retweet posts from individuals affiliated with Russian state media?
That retweet came from my personal account,
So you did do it.
and I would have to go back to look at the substance of the tweet.
Can I, just so that we don't have a lack of confusion amongst our allies and enemies and us, can I act perhaps that you not think that you should be saying one thing on your personal account than you say officially?
I maintain my First Amendment rights to be able to express my own personal views
Oh
on
boy.
different issues.
Oh
Hey,
boy.
I'm allowed.
I'm allowed to side with our enemies on my personal phone. God damn.
Get him, Tammy.
Heard from
Let's ask
Senator
someone
Roger
else.
Wicker on the Armed Services Committee in the Senate saying that there's
Scott.
definitely going to be an investigation in this. Now let's go to Senator Tammy Duckworth of Illinois. She also sits on the Senate Armed Services Committee. Senator, thank you very much for joining us today. Is there going to be an investigation into this text chain, this signal conversation about imminent plans to strike Houthi rebels?
I hate it when they give fucking people who are remote long-winded ass questions. It's like,
Yeah,
dude,
right?
they're trying to double dutch what you hear, and you just keep
Yeah.
changing up the tempo.
That inadvertently included a journalist.
Absolutely, there needs to be an investigation. The protocol here is very clear. Every single official on that signal chain needs to hand over their mobile devices so that we can investigate and look at and
Yeah, let's get your phones.
Give up the phones, guys.
Let's see that phone real quick. Let me plug it into this here laptop.
analyze
Let's see
their
how many,
mobile
let's
devices.
see how many fucking signal chats you got going on
my
right
God,
now.
dude, you know they have like 100. 100 different things.
Pete Hegseth, J.D. Vance, Marco Rubio, all of them. And then we have to do an investigation. That's what would happen at the Department of Defense or the State Department, were it any staffer that did this at some other incident. And so they need to follow the protocol. And we here in the Senate, especially on the Senate Armed Services Committee, needs to investigate what happened.
Do you have the authority to do that? And if you do, I mean, do you believe that Republicans are going to help you do it?
Well, I hope that they will do it. Now, I'm encouraged that Senator Wicker is saying that there should be a hearing on it. Let's hope that they do it. But if they don't, I wouldn't be surprised because my Republican colleagues have basically rolled over on everything for the Trump administration. And suddenly the things that they were opposed to in previous years, they're okay with. I mean, look at, you played a clip of Mr. Walz earlier talking about this is laundering of classified information from a classified system onto an unclassified system when he was talking about a similar, Hillary having an email server. Well, this is exactly what happened.
Butter emails.
Butter
Pete
emails.
Hegseth laundered classified information off of a secret system onto an unclassified platform.
Can I ask you a little bit more about Signal? I mean, reporters do use Signal. Government officials sometimes do use Signal. Do they use Signal to communicate about government secrets?
Scott says Republicans are so scared of Trump, chicken shits. Like, that's what I don't get, is like they don't understand that they're a co-equal branch of government.
I mean, they 100% understand it, but they don't care. Like,
well, that's what
they
I'm
don't
saying. Like, they could be literally leading Trump around like a dog and making him do everything that they want. But they've bought into this thing like, oh, well, he'll primary us.
I mean, if you're in certain Republican districts, that shit don't matter. Like, ain't no one gonna primary you.
Right.
Like Republican leadership, the people in the safest districts, you ain't gonna get primaried.
No.
Like, have some fucking backbone.
Secrets?
And I mean, the other problem is that some of them are just bought in. Like Mike Johnson, he's bought in. He's a part of the MAGA fucking collective. He's in the cult.
I wonder what he's been promised.
Speakership for as long as he wants it, probably.
Maybe like a new tree house to make cookies in.
How
Keebler,
is Signal
motherfucker.
used by the government? Why do officials have Signal?
Well, it should not be used to transmit secret, right? It's classified information. It's kind of like saying, let's say we're not using some. Let's say we're using Microsoft Word. You have a classified computer that may have Microsoft Word on it, and you have an unclassified computer that has Microsoft Word in it. But you can't transfer the information from one to the other. And that's the same thing. When you're on a classified system, you can only use a classified communications platform. Signal is not one of those. Signal can be used in an unclassified setting, to communicate, but you should not be putting, like Pete Hegseth did, targeting data, sequencing data about an imminent attack on terrorists. That should never have been.
No, he never said that. And that reporter is a damn liar. That reporter lied.
Put onto an unclassified system, and he knowingly did this. He had to take this off of a classified system and put it into and upload it
Johnson promised a year's free Pornhub. Steven.
To the unclassified Signal platform. That is the part that is egregious. That's the part that is a national security failure, and that is what put the lives around.
We're keeping our elbows up, bud.
Ali.
Men and women in uniform in danger. Those pilots could have come under attack that night.
President Trump just said or implied that there's no system that's secure. He said the ones that are very secure are very cumbersome and don't work all the time. And they weren't right for this circumstance. He said Signal was right for this circumstance. Are there no system?
It wasn't, though.
No.
I mean,
oh my God.
And the thing that is telling is individual phones can get hacked. So it doesn't matter if you're using Signal or not. If they can just watch whatever is happening on your screen whenever your screen is open. You know what I mean? Like, if that's that, do they not know how this works? Like, do they not get it that they can just clone your phone?
Yeah.
Like, what is the problem here?
And I've heard that, like, these high level officials, their personal phones are already like enemy nation states already have that stuff.
Right. So just
Like,
you're
they have-
supposed to assume that everything that you're saying on there is being heard by the enemy. That's what you're supposed to assume.
Right. And that's also, like, once again, the very minimal training I had on cybersecurity as a intern for a congresswoman said that, like, don't use your personal device in the office. Like, the computers we have are government computers, and they're government computers for a reason, so that no one can steal all the data on those computers.
Remember when the January 6ers decided to take their little, like, their guided tour of the Capitol, and then they
Yes.
were like live streaming it and like
Yeah.
making videos of it, and some of them just kept their phones in their pockets, and then like Trump tweeted something, and then they all opened their phones to look at the tweet. And then all that data pinged every single tower around there. And they're like, how did they find me? How did they find me? Because they got, oh, wait, I got a button for that. They,
Got your data, dumbass.
Of course. Anywhere you take that phone, it's being tracked. It's being tracked.
Yeah, especially if you're like if you're a person of importance in the government, like that, you're not supposed to use your personal phone for this kind of shit. Even if Signal is end-to-end encrypted, there are ways around that.
Yeah.
You can get the data from the phone and not from Signal.
Right. I don't have to hack Signal. I just have to like get near you so I can copy your SIM card.
Yeah. God, they're so dumb.
Got your data, dumbass.
This administration is so incompetent. These people are so unserious. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it.
With those when
I
went
get
through
it.
Puberty. Honka honka, we're all gonna die. Anyway.
In our government that are secure?
Yeah, he's not telling the truth. Each one of these cabinet secretaries actually have a secret classified system accessible to them 24/7. In fact, many of them will have one set up in their home so that if something's going to happen at 3 a.m., they can step into like a booth into a special classified room. We call it a skiff.
Why do they have that?
And they can have these conversations. They just chose.
Got a Faraday cage with a wire going out of it.
Yeah. And my friend who was in the military said that when they were running communications, that they went into a skiff for stuff that was much less important than
maybe
that
they
Signal
don't-
chat information.
Maybe they don't think like there are like literal, real, actual spies. Like espionage is not a thing. Like, you know, like, oh, that's just in the movies, and that's not. No, this is real, dumbass. Like, people will like, you can't even fucking use your debit card at the gas station half the time now without fucking fighting the thing to make sure that there's not a skimmer on it.
Yeah.
Like,
And,
this
like,
shit happens.
It's not all fucking like James Bond and like Burn Notice. Like the spies are much less like, I want to say, apparent. They're much less apparent than you would see in like the movies. Like, they're not dressed like spies.
It's not like Spy versus Spy where the guys are in the trench coats with the very long noses.
Yeah. Like, it's not actually Cloak and Dagger. Like, you gotta think a little bit smarter there, guys.
It must be so comfortable being a foreign adversary of the U.S. right now. Any dictator could send a guy with a pineapple to D.C., and most Republican politicians would probably connect to it thinking it's free Wi-Fi. That's exactly that. Exactly that. I never use public Wi-Fi. Are you kidding me?
Oh my God, never.
No. Don't need you seeing all of my videos.
If I'm out there and I need Wi-Fi, I turn on my hotspot that is encrypted. I don't use public Wi-Fi.
It's gross. My poor files being abused like that.
Move this to an unclassified system.
Why do
That's
they
what
have
happened.
skiffs? Why do they have skiffs at home? Why are skiffs so important?
Because that is a verified classified system that is a closed system that cannot be hacked. So that is basically having a situation room in your home. They don't have a food situation room like in the White House, but they do have a booth-like
Hey, they're going to close down Skype. Maybe we should open up a skiff.
system set up. They have
How much it costs for one of them skiffs? Patreon.com, so we can get a skiff.
There you go. We got a goal now. We're gonna get a skiff.
With classified
The skiff goal.
hardened networks that they're operating on, they have access to those 24/7. The Director of National Intelligence has it. The CIA Director has it. The Secretary of Defense has it. The Secretary of State has it. It goes with.
But I'm JD Vance and I'm in Michigan right now, so just hit me on the celly. Hit me on the hip, Playboy.
Them everywhere they go. They could be in anywhere in the world, and it goes with them so that they can have classified conversations. And so basically, this is why it's so egregious. They have access to this, and yet they
Hashtag skiff goals. Yes.
chose to move, in Mr. Walsh's words, launder classified information off of a classified system that they have access to and moved it over into an unclassified
SG in the chat.
system.
Senator,
and
I know
we're okay with it.
I know you're running up against a wall here. I want to ask you one more question.
My name is Ben Skiff.
And I ask this honestly and earnestly. Do they not care about national security? Why would they be using Signal? I'm sure they know
Pretty sure that's someone
that
else's
it's not
job.
the most secure way to
Shit, that's us.
communicate. Do they care about national security? Or you tell me, what is your sense of things?
Well, as this starts out with Pete Hegseth is literally the most unqualified Secretary of Defense in history. And this is further demonstrating his...
Wow. Damn.
Don't hold back, Tammy.
Say, oh, you think you bought that? You think it's a game?
She said you're the worst to ever do it, son. She said you're the worst. She said I would have been better, and I hate Trump.
She said you're the weakest hunter in the world.
competence, and by he's literally
Oh my God, what if? Oh no.
leaking classified war plans via group chat, right? He's the guy who actually uploaded.
If that's the case, I'm joining the monsters.
He uploaded it. It's a stunning breach of our national security by Pete Hegseth and Trump administration. They've done this before, and frankly, this puts the lives of our servicemen and women in danger. And I have to ask the same question that you just asked. Don't they care? Don't they care about the men and women in uniform who are going to be flying those missions? And by the way, if you were our allies, I would be thinking twice about sharing classified information with the United States for future missions. And that could put our men and women in uniform who are in harm's way right now in danger. Shame on them. All these people need to
we like
sharing
shame.
classified information with the United States for future missions. And that could put our men and women in uniform who are in harm's way right now in danger. Shame on them. All these people need to lose their jobs.
Yeah, we already have allies.
Yes, we like shame around here.
Shame. Bill Moore's a shame. He's shameful.
Shame.
Damn. Shame.
Yeah, that John Larson one comes in like a fucking ton of bricks.
Oh my God, I'm gonna use that. I'm saving that one for when people get like banned. When we ban them out of the chat, I'm hitting them with that one. That's the ban shame.
My God.
You go into the shame dimension.
I mean, Tammy Duckworth is 100% right, and Pete Hegseth should resign.
I remember.
Where we're at.
I remember what I was gonna say. So the reason why Tammy is so adamant about keeping secrets, especially like this, her helicopter got shot down when she was in Iraq or Afghanistan. I can't remember. I think it was Iraq. But she's a double amputee. She's a former
yeah.
So like her shit got shot down. So she doesn't really have any, tolerance for people allowing aircraft to be shot down. So
yeah, and like we go back to Hegseth's fucking nomination hearing, she tore into him because once again she thought that he was completely unqualified.
Yeah.
And he is. He's just a fucking bro that Trump appointed to fucking defense secretary. You know how many calls I got yesterday in the Congresswoman's office about people saying that Pete Hegseth should resign? I had to like shorten out the messages that I was typing to like SecDef should resign. Like, it's ridiculous.
Check out some of our other content. We would love to see what you think about the one on the screen right now.